Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the cards for today for the 27th of January 2017. Now, I'm going to do another video today for the cards for the weekend, but this one, with us having the new moon tonight, it's going to be a bit extended as well. So I didn't want to put the whole lot in because it would end up probably over an hour. So I will be posting the cards for the weekend later on today as well after I've done this. So what I want to say first before I start this is thank you so much to all the new subscribers I have, all of the people on Instagram and the people on here. It's been really nice connecting with you all. Thank you for the messages that you've been getting, and I'm pleased that you're all liking the monthlies as well, so they seem to be going down well. But, massive gratitude, and it really does come from the heart to say thank you, for taking the time to watch these videos. It really is massively appreciated. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is we have a new moon tonight, or rather, it comes in. It's 6 minutes past 12 tonight. So I'm saying it's tonight. And this new moon, there's quite a lot coming in with it. So I am going to talk a little bit about that before I get the cards. But the cards are fabulous. Somebody mentioned about tarot in one of the messages they sent me, and I've been reading tarot for many, many years, and every day I still get surprised from it. I have a real massive, massive love and adoration for tarot as well. They can teach us so much. So the cards totally fit in with the theme that I think we're going on this week. But anyway, this moon, as we know, moons are always a great time for releasing things as well. Somebody was asking about how do you do new moon wishes, and I don't feel that they're wishes. I feel it's more intentions. You set an intention of what you want to come in, rather than actually wishing, because you wish upon a star, don't you? You set an intention for the moon. And this moon, what I've felt, and I have been speaking to other people who have felt it as well, is this year up to now, 2017, has really just been an extension of last year. In a lot of my monthly videos, it comes out where it's like sort of tonight is the New Year's Eve. You know how everybody on New Year's Eve thinks, all right, okay, it's going to be a great year. Think of it as tonight. January's just been, I think, like a bit of a void for a lot of people. So tonight is the new year. And as from tomorrow, those of you who can remember, we had quite a heavy Mercury retrograde that started the 1st of December. That leaves shadow. Mercury did go direct on the 8th of January, but it has still been in shadow to now. So the dregs have still been there. It's like the black cloud has still been lurking over, and tomorrow it shifts. So like I say, tomorrow is my New Year's Day. That's how I'm seeing it, and what a fabulous moon, it's the Aquarius moon that we're going into, and it comes with a very, very powerful message. Quite gentle. It's not as chaotic as other moons, but it is quite gentle as well. And what this moon is basically saying to us is that we need to love ourselves more. We need to put up any resistance to self-love, and we need to open our heart. What it's also asking us to have a look at here is love. I don't like to go into soulmates, twin flames, stuff like that, because I have very different views to a lot of people on that. So I'm not going to mention that. But some do say that this moon is very connected with that. I feel it's more connected with soul groups, if that makes sense, so people who are in your tribe, right? So what this moon is saying to us tonight and, for the next coming 4 weeks is, what does love actually mean to you? And have a look at what limiting beliefs that you actually hold around this. Because a lot of times we learn things from being a child. This is when we learn what love is. So we see what is going on around us, and we learn from that. Every parent can sit a child down and tell them, okay, this is it, and show them a book. But children pick up on what is around them, and this moon is telling you to have a look at your learned behavior around love, around relationships as well, and have a look at maybe what you need to unlearn as well. You know, as I said, from a child, we sort of see what brings us love, okay? And then that forms our belief into what it is as we go into adults, you know, and we all love our parents, but, you know, they didn't know it all. Those of you who are parents yourself, you know, we mess up, you know. So like I say, parents are not on this pedestal. So some people can actually, from a young age, there's a friend of mine who, very, very funny guy, very talented, you know, amazing creative brain. And he, throughout his childhood, the way he was shown love was to be funny, to dance, to sing, to actually make his father laugh. That guy is now an actor, you know, very good actor, but that was how he got his appreciation. So that has stemmed from, you know, when he was young, okay, if I'm funny and I can do all of this, then that will make me loved. Some of us are the type that go, right, okay, we want to please everybody, so we'll do everything right and we'll keep our voice in, and we'll not express our wants and needs because it's about other people, you know. So we all have these different views, you know. Those that were brought up with quite abusive parents or whatever will probably then seek out a relationship where the person they're in the relationship with is quite abusive with them, because in, you know, a crazy messed up way, they believe that that person loves them by doing that. So this is what this moon is asking us to do. It's asking us to look at patterns, you know, how we seen love when we were children, and asking you to look at your relationships now and see, are they what you have been led to believe is love, or are they what your soul is telling you is love? Because there will be a massive difference as well. Even if you had the perfect upbringing and everything, you know, when you're going with your soul, that is a different type of love, you know. And what you need to look at is, are the relationships that you have at the moment, are they founded on you relating to your authentic self as well, you know? And are you seen as an equal within these as well? Because a lot of times when people, you know, allow themselves to be put down or whatever, this is a pattern that is actually carried them on, you know. I always say blame the parents. That's sort of, you know, where it stems from. And like I say, it's not done in a bad way, but, you know, we do learn from them. So what this moon is saying as well is, you know, you need to release any tensions that you have around love, around relationships. You need to embrace yourself as well, you know. You need to give yourself self-love. You need to embrace these deep, deep feelings that you've got, and you need to be honest with yourself about how you feel, you know, without any judgment as well, you know, because judgment is not cool. It's an egoic trait. So like I say, you know, do not judge yourself. You need to be present with yourself, you know, and this might be a little bit uncomfortable, because when our illusions are shattered as well, and what we have been brought up to think is real, we suddenly see it as, hold on, that's not that cool. It is quite an uncomfortable place to be, but sit with this uncomfortableness, sit with this uncertainty as well, you know, and let your soul, your authentic self, sort it out, and it will, you know. So what this moon is saying is, you know, open your heart here. Any old painful memories that are there, you know, it's about addressing them, facing them head on as well, you know, tackling them and watching them dissolve as well, you know, because this is what happened when we are going through ascension. We need to look at everything. We need to look at our childhoods. We need to look at our parents' childhoods and understand why they were the way they were, why they are the way they are, you know, and that's it. And it goes way, way back. And this is about breaking the cycle. You know, whether this is breaking the cycle because you have children and you do not want them to carry on this, or whether it's just breaking the cycle because it's not working for you and it's making you feel uncomfortable. So this is about finding a new way, a new meaning, you know, and thinking outside the box, stepping outside of that family box, really. You know, this is what it's talking about. be careful. There may be, when I'm getting in here, there may be a couple of little clashes with mother figures as well over the next couple of weeks, I feel, because like I say, this is sort of, it's like this moon is wanting you to cut the umbilical cord in some way. You don't need that no more. You can breathe on your own. So it's about pulling away a little bit, and this could cause friction. So like I say, be aware. They've just said there that there could be some I used to say all the time, if it's not one thing, it's my mother, So like I say, be careful with that as well. So this is about, like I say, this moon is about thinking of things in a new light, in a new way, and seeing things differently. It's a massive positive shift. This is not a scary, this is not bad. This is really, really good for you. And it starts with your thoughts, and it starts with the way you think about things as well. So use this new moon energy to your advantage as well. Break the cycle. Ask yourself, who am I? Who are you on a soul level? Not who you have been taught to be, not who the person that you have actually developed in order to fit in and to receive this love or whatever. You need to ask, who am I deep down? And once you do that, I feel there's this like weight of relief will be lifted. There will be revelations around this. And this moon is asking you to stand up and stand out. So this is it. This is sort of like, right, okay, this is about me, and who I am. So a fabulous, fabulous new moon there. So sorry, I've gone way, way over already. That's why I said I'm not going to do the weekend cards yet, because it will go over. So anyway, back to the cards now. So the first card that I pulled, ta-da, it's the death card, which is so fitting with what I've just said. This card is about transformation and transition. A lot of people get scared when they see the death card. Death card is such a wonderful card. It does indicate something is ending, and this could just be this craziness, you're finding a new way, you're finding a new way of living, because something has died, something is no longer working for you, something cannot be resurrected. So it's like I said yesterday, it's pointless flogging a dead horse. And if we have a look in this card, can you see there's the moon that we mentioned yesterday, but today this actually looks more like the sun is rising on it, So this is when yesterday we had all of this fear because we were clinging on to stuff. And what this card is saying is now is the time to actually to go forward, to leave the past behind, And this is when you will feel better. This is when you will transition, and this is when you will gain freedom as well. Freedom to be your authentic self. Your old life is no longer serving you. You need to step into the new and see where that is going with you. Now, with all endings, they can be painful. This could be, like I say, this could be ending a relationship that is no longer working, that you've tried and tried and tried. It could be ending an era where you are, right, okay, that cycle is over and I'm having to start anew here, or something else significant in your life, a job, a career, anything like this. This is about something that needs to end. But rather than looking at this as an ending, look at this as a new beginning, There's a cycle stopping, but there's a cycle starting. Nothing just stays still. As one door's closing, another one is opened for you, So there's a lot of change going on. Now, like I say, I mentioned about today being like the New Year's Eve. And last year was a massively painful year for a lot of people. Massively. And it was all pushing us to our authentic self, to live our dreams, to realize our dreams could be reality. But it meant a lot of confusion and a lot of breaking away as well, And this card, I feel this month has been, we've had the dregs of that as well, So we've done it. We may have done it on a physical level. This is the last little bit of our thoughts, that we need to change, And what we need to look at here is life is very, very short. We need to seek satisfaction and fulfillment while there is still time. Like I say, those of you that watch every day, I did mention there's a family that are very dear to me. They lost somebody very young, suddenly, last week. And, it just made me think, what, you have one life. You have one life. My mum used to say it's not a dress rehearsal, you know, so you go out and you live it, you know, and you live each day, because each day is a gift. Each day is a gift to you, and some people, you know, don't get that. So like I say, this is about seeking fulfillment for you, you know, not for other people. You do not live your life for other people. You live it for you, you know. So this card is saying it's time to take control of your own destiny and live your life in a meaningful way, you know. If you found out tomorrow that you had 6 months to live, would you have any regrets about the way you're living your life now? If you do, then change them. They need to be changed. If you don't, then hats off to you, you know, well done. And, you know, this is a time of sort of looking and thinking, right, what is it that I need to change? What will bring me happiness? What will bring me peace of mind? What will bring me fulfillment? And what is it I really want to do? You know, so this is what this card is saying. And yes, it's scary to leave things behind, you know, but when they no longer serve you, it's scarier to stay and cling on to them, you know. So this is about taking a step into the future. Change is only happens when it's needed here. So have faith that this is for your best. The universe has your back here, you know. That once you do this, once you close the door on the past, then this is making way for a much more fulfilling and satisfying time in your future. And try to accept this rather than fight it, you know, because this allows any transition to go a lot more smoothly. So this is sort of a rebirth, you know, and accept it. You can't control it. It's coming. You know, whether you try and push it away or whatever, it will resurface again, and it will resurface again, and it is not stopping until you actually take notice. So this card is telling you to clear out your clutter, both physical and emotional as well, and make way for this wonderful new phase that is coming into your life. You know, you've got to speak your truth. You've got to live your truth as well. There's an old life ended. It's gone. We've been clinging to for too long. You know, this is just the beginning. You know, so like I say, an absolutely fabulous card here. There may be some opposition. Some people might not like it, but you know what? They've lived their life. You know, this is about you living yours. So, like I say, if you do this with an open heart, if you do this because you don't have to be nasty to people, you know, when you shut the door on them, but it's just like, you know what, this is it, and this is what I'm doing for me as well. If we have a look at the guy in here, he's all black as well. He's all in black, and this is protection as well. Whenever I'm doing readings for individuals in person, I always wear black, because black it repels any energy back, you know. So it's a great card, but like I say, this card is just, I'm getting such a wonderful feeling with this. I've just been shown a tattoo there. So, you know, you could even be going out and getting a tattoo and somebody could be saying to you, God, you're having a midlife crisis. And it's like, no, I'm not. You know, this isn't a midlife crisis. This is me actually being reborn. And this is me living in the way I've always wanted to. So, like I say, some of you may actually decide to get your first tattoo this weekend. Good luck with it if you do. I have a little bit of a... I love getting tattooed. It's I don't know, I think it's quite a macabre thing to like, but I do actually enjoy being tattooed. I have a big one on my back that took 4.5 hours, and I was quite gutted when it was finished. I find it very relaxing. So, like I say, sorry. Right, okay. So, like I say, that's the death card. Fabulous card for today, and especially when we're having the new moon. The Osho card I have as well. You know how, like I say, we talk about this being how we are, but this being our unconscious. So I still feel there's a little bit of a way to go before you fully embrace what is happening. Sorry. So what we have here is clinging to the past. Now, this is a number 5 card, and as we know, 5s are struggles. 5s are problems, challenges. We're stuck in the middle, you know. I'm getting that Steelers wheel stuck in the middle with you again. That was that yesterday or the day before that I got that? Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Yeah, right, okay, so that may mean something to somebody if that's came in twice there. So this is it, you know. And what this is saying is that your preoccupation with the past has taken over your head, and it's not allowing you to move on or to experience the happiness that you deserve, you know. So it's also telling you to be careful what you are dismissing at this time as well, because it's like you are going over and over things in your head, maybe things that have been done, things that have been said, you know, things others have done to you and others have said, and you are getting yourself in a mess. And what this is doing is this is boxing you off from the real world and what is out there waiting for you. You know, if we have a look at the card here, I love it. It's sort of like the snakes and ladders. Can you see that? And can you see all the mouths and stuff like this? And this is all words that have been said and how we follow them, and they all go absolutely crazy. And if we have a look, the person in this, you know, she's got the green here, so this is our heart chakra, but she's that clinging on to this box that is over her head, which is not allowing her to see, and this is all filled with the past. And if we see, can we see the sides of it here? It's cracking, it's stone, it's, you know, it's not pretty. It's like, it's stone thoughts, it's restrictions, you know, it's like a wall there. And if you can see behind, can you see there's like a champagne glass behind it and all of these stars? So this is celebrations, this is dreams, she has it all around there. There's a lot of blues, so there's healing. This is speaking your truth as well. And she cannot see them because she has this box on her head. She's boxed in, you know. So what this card is saying is the past is called the past for a reason, because it's gone. And no matter how much you think about it, no matter how much you ponder it, you cannot get it back. You know, even if you did, even if you revisited, you know, and try again, that's what I'm getting, you know. You can't go back in time, you know. It cannot be recreated. It's about moving forward, not going backwards. You know, that's why when we're in a car, we have the front view mirror is huge and the little one that looks in the back is tiny, you know, because the past is gone, you know, that's it. And too many people cling to the past because it's familiar, it's safe, it's what they know. And, you know, they will never find their true happiness by this, you know. So we need to move on. So this card is telling you that it's time to face up to the past, you know, and know that any repeat efforts, you know, of doing the same thing again, you know, is only us stuck in old blueprints that we know aren't true. And if we hadn't been so busy clinging to the past, we would have seen this. So this is talking about what I've said about this moon. Any old things, all limiting beliefs that we have been taught from an early age are how things are meant to be. You know that there is more to it. You know that that is not the way. You know, so this card is saying take a deep breath, put the box down, you know, tie a pretty ribbon around it if you want, but bid it a fond and reverent, I can't even speak, reverent farewell. You know, this is it. It's time. Life is passing you by, you know, and you're in danger of becoming old, you know, before your time, if you're clinging here, you know. So this is saying be open to what is present and be careful that you don't lose a diamond, you know, because you're too busy sifting through stones. That's what's coming in here. Now, when Osho talks about this card, what Osho says is these tenses, past, present, and future, are not the tenses of time. They are the tenses of the mind. That which is no longer before the mind becomes the past. That which is before the mind is the present, and that which is going to be before the mind is the future. Past is that which is no longer before you. Future is that which is not yet before you. And the present is that which is before you and is slipping out of your sight. Soon it will be past. If you don't cling to the past, because clinging to the past is absolute stupidity, it is no longer there, so you are crying for spilt milk. What is gone, and don't cling to the present, because that is also going to soon be the past. Don't cling to the future, hopes, imaginations, plans for tomorrow, because tomorrow will become today, will become yesterday. Everything is going to become yesterday. Everything is going to go out of your hands. Clinging will simply create misery. You have to let go. So this is just about rolling with it, about being, you know, and knowing that, you know, we can't stop this cycle. When this wheel is turning, we've just got to go with it, you know. Right, okay, they're giving me more music there, but what's that? Ike, Tina Turner, Proud Mary. Sorry, I'm not going into that one. Right, so that's what Osho says about this card. So again, this is all about letting go, and the most amazing time to do it is the night of the full moon tonight, you know. So I think this is why these cards have come in. Now, the Colette Baron Reid cards, which I usually love, and they're usually quite, some people say it's fluffy. I don't think they're fluffy because I think they are very, very insightful. But this one, it really struck a chord when I pulled this card today. And if we have a look at that card, I don't know if you can see it. It's not that pretty. And it's orphaned, but it's in the protection position. And what this card talks about is the shadow side of abandonment. Okay, now, like I say, because we've talked a lot about these family issues and stuff like that with this moon and with the cards today, you know, we have this fear of abandonment as well from a child. You know, we have this. And what this is saying is this is when abandonment or abandonment issues can actually start to control us in some way. And what we can do is we can find intimacy threatening then. So what we do is we keep ourselves away from people. Now, you know, I've been massively guilty of this in the past. I've done a lot of work on myself, but it still crops up as well, you know. And what happens within this is like, it's right, okay, I'm not going to let anybody in. Because if I let somebody in, then I risk getting hurt, you know. But what you do then is it's hurting you even more. You know, by keeping people at arm's length, this is hurting you because there are people out there that want to love you. There are people out there who will give you the love, and there are people out there who won't leave. You know, so like I say, these old, if any of you have old abandonment issues from the past, I really feel that this is a good time to actually address them and see that they're not real. This was nothing personal to you, you know, nothing at all. This was the actions of, you know, the other people who you maybe were around in the past, you know. So like I say, what with this, if you do have them, then you need to force through this fear. You know, I've done it. It's not easy. And you know, you get triggers and the triggers come back and the triggers come back, but it's pushing through them, and it's realizing that, you know, just because that happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future as well. And knowing that by cutting yourself off from people, you know, you are cutting yourself off from joy, and you are cutting yourself off from the ability to feel love and the ability to feel loved as well, you know, and the ability to give love as well. It's a real dark, dire card, a bit like Mrs. Havisham, you know. I remember in Great Expectations where she was jilted at the altar and she sat in her wedding dress and sat in the same house and never moved for all those years, and it was just cobwebs came around her, and she put her life out on hold, you know, and lived a very miserable life for it. And this is what can happen, you know, if we cut ourselves off from people. So what this card is also talking about as well is about having a look at old family structures as well, and having a look at how we are continuing them within our life today, and how they are just masking over old wounds. You know, we cannot fully heal a wound unless we actually delve into it and open it up. And then this is when it can be cleaned out, you know, and that is when it can start to heal. So this is also telling you as well that it's time to address any unhealthy connections that you have, you know, especially I feel this is around family and relationships. So look at ways, you know, look at relationships where they are unhealthy, where there's the sort of these unwritten rules that aren't talked about, you know, that actually they're not constructive. That's it. They're actually destructive, you know, as well. And this is time to break the cycle from the past. Not all relationships are dysfunctional, you know. A few of them are, you know, a lot of them are. But this is because I feel it's more, a lot of the readings I do and everything, like I mentioned before with the new moon thing, this is because of our learned behavior around relationships, you know. So that is what causes the dysfunction within them. And not all relationships will disappoint you, you know, they won't. So this is saying don't abandon yourself just because of the actions of others as well, you know. Do not let yourself shrivel up, you know, and sort of be in the dark just because other people, you know, haven't treated you well. Once you recognize these unhealthy once you recognize these unhealthy patterns, and once you tackle them at the root. When I pulled this card, it was sort of like you know, a weed is something that kind of be there. And what they were showing me, if you cut a weed down, it's going to grow again within the next day. And what they showed me when I pulled this card was like a weed, but getting it right at the root, putting the weed killer on it right at the root, and then pulling that up and throwing it away. And that weed will not grow again. It can't grow again. So this is saying that you need to consciously interrupt these unhealthy patterns, and you need to actually say no more, this isn't working for me, because life wants to love you, okay? And the universe wants you to love and be loved. So what this card is saying is let healthy love in. Any old restrictions that we have around love or behaviors or what it should be or whatever, you know, really look at them and say, you know, is this true? Because like I say, when we come from a soul base, and when we love in the way our soul tells us to, which is unconditional, you know, which is wanting that other person to be as happy as we are, because you know they are with us, and when we love without conditions and without restrictions and without shoulds and shouldn'ts, you know, this is when we can open ourselves up to pure true love. You know, when we love with conditions, this is usually in a way that we have been conditioned from the past. So quite heavy cards today, but I really feel that they were massively needed in some way. Like I say, this dark cloud is lifting, this Mercury shadow is lifting, and I feel February is going to be a really, really good month. I think there's going to be a lot of clearing in February, and things are going to start moving again. So what better time to do it than today? So I hope you like those cards. If anybody would like a reading with me, please get in touch. I do Skype, I do phone, I do Facebook Messenger, and I do email readings. So please get in touch. It is getting a little bit busy, but you know, I can always squeeze people in. And again, thank you for watching. And please let me know whether these cards actually resonated with you. I took a massive amount from these cards today, you know. So yeah, I'm quite thankful, taking a little piece of my own medicine, I think. But yeah, I really, really like them. There's a really good feeling. This isn't a sad feeling here. This is a feeling of liberation. And, you know, this moon tonight is about liberation. It's about freeing ourselves from the old restricting beliefs, old situations that no longer serve us, and heading out into our amazing and fabulous future. Okay, so I will be back with the weekend cards. We'll post them later on today, but have an absolutely fabulous day. Satnam.